after all, because it could also be KT, of course, if they desire to do so. Now, we're going to know more. It was indeed KT choosing the battleground, so no shenanigans. And look at that ban. Towers of Doom banned by KT, so they know exactly what they don't want to play on. That's so cool.
That is fair enough. CE would be able to control that map very effectively against them. And KT, a map they feel relatively comfortable on, the map that CE doesn't go to very often, because despite it being the most popular map, in fact, because probably it's the most popular map, CE don't go there very often because they like the alternative maps.
Absolutely. They really want to go for those niche picks every now and then, but that doesn't mean that they can play on Curse Hollow. I think it's definitely within their repertoire to really perform very well on one of the oldest maps in Heroes of Storm, one of the most traditional competitive maps we could possibly imagine.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ban phase has begun, and CE, starting with the first ban, the consistent theme to Hacker getting removed.
And well met, he's following right after. Uther is unfortunately no more, and, you know, nothing new, nothing flashy. The Genji, who else? Whoa! That is some determination!
That's very quick. Yeah, and this was the kind of thing we'd expect to see from CE, but instead getting immediately 1 denied and 2 very quickly picked up by KT. And yeah, like you said, no chill, no delay on those picks. All in with the Abathur Illidan. CE, slightly more relaxed, but this is the point. If you are 100% sure about a strategy, it makes sense to insta-pick your first 2 heroes, because it gives your opponents less time to think.
Absolutely, and you brought up a very good point. That is basically all in right there. KT has chosen their path, and it is all face, all YOLO every day. They want to maybe start off the game a little bit early, because Abathur, we pointed that out multiple times already as well. He's not the strongest of early game heroes, so if you manage to delay the first 1 or 2 tributes, you're actually in a good spot, because once you're getting close to 10, that's where you're going to shine. With a copy, with more support possibilities in terms of talents. And of course, Arthur's immediately locked down in the second rotation, and I love it, because you can guarantee, you can bet that KT would have banned him otherwise.
They would have, absolutely. Arthas is the #1 counter to Illidan at the moment. You'd think it would be blinds, but it turns out just slowing down his attack and doing consistent ability power damage to him is pretty good. And of course, slowing him down so he has a harder time chasing. So Kendrick, with KT batting out the Cassia, they're still very much all in on this Illidan style.
Oh yeah.
Do they trade?
What do you mean? Do they trade bananas?
With the fork comp that they're going for, do trade?
I don't think you trade, because you always go face. You never trade, and taunt is cheat, so Varian is out of the game.
Yeah, taunt is cheat. So yeah, the Tyrael Rhaegar coming in here. So we have, this is not out of the realms of a Bloodlust comp, but Ancestral of Illidan is just too good, giving him basically a second health pool.
Okay, now they could indeed go for a support now. Strong supports against Illidan are normally Brightwing. Auriel is not really recommended in my opinion, especially since they don't have a good generator so far. Karazim, maybe if an Illidan gets cheeky and goes in too deep, the 7-sided can punish him really hard, but
I think double healer, Brightwing, Lili.
Okay. In the Genji solo assassin?
Yep. Okay. Well, no, you flick Lili, you will full damage Lili.
True. Okay. They go for Luthel's comfort pick, obviously, and they go for the Tychus, which is not too bad all around either. Tychus, of course, he can rely on magic damage with his Q, with a grenade, if Illidan has evasion up, and also, of course, he can go for the laser, which you just click the button 1 time on the Illidan, and that laser is going to hunt him down mercilessly, and the hunter can oftentimes become the hunted.
I've heard that sometimes ranged assassins are overrated.
Yeah,
he appears to agree.
KT seems to agree. Yeah, they went for the Tassadar, and who was the other support? Rhaegar, right? Yeah.
Rhaegar, Tassadar, Abathur.
Ooh, full steroid comp for Illidan. Holy cow!
Why would you zoom on this? Come on, production. Why you do this?
I'm pretty sure that if that production took place somewhere in Europe or in A, they would get fined and fired, but in China it's perfectly fine. Book me a flight to China. I want to become part of this.
If you say so. So, We are waiting for the map to get loaded up so we can get this underway. But overall, this is about as all-in as you can get coming in here from Kudos top. They want to win really hard. That's a cool mouse pad.
Ooh.
Look at that.
I don't think I've seen that one yet. A really, really cool Heroes of the Storm themed mousepad. Blizzard, hook us up with some of those.
Yeah, where did that come from? I will have to check with John once he's back to work. For now, though, what is the counters that they actually have on the side of C? They have Arthas and kinda Tychus.
Kinda Tychus,
basically, those are their options.
I mean, a noob is not really that terrible either. You can always drop the Cocoon on Illidan if he gets a little bit too aggressive and annoying to deal with, right? So 3 out of 5 heroes that counter him extremely well is already solid enough, because oftentimes teams make the mistake, in my opinion, of overcommitting to countering one specific hero that they totally forget about everyone else. So I think CE found a good balance between countering the Illidan and focusing on other stuff as well. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the first game here between CE and KT, baby. Alright, this time I'm not taking the risk of Tetra continuing to eat his sandwich. I'm going to...
My sandwich is devoured.
Okay, it has been fully devoured. I'm still going to introduce here the first team, KT, on the left-hand side. In the blues, we have T-Die on his Rhaegar. Neptune, he's going to be the big carry that all depend on. The Illidan. Fury plays the Tassadar, C-Ink on the Abathur, and Butcher on Turiel. And this is a try-hard, hard-engaged Illidan comp.
Whereas on the right-hand side, with a slightly more standard comp, it is challenge everything. With Alufal and Karazim, Wind on the Anubarak, KTY on the Tychus, Paradise on Arthas, and Zuyu is playing the Genji.
Alright.
Okay, so we have shields, heals, and Abathur. Yep. So Illidan is about as protected as it is possible to be. That's spectacular.
Ain't nobody got time for ranged assassins when Dali Illidan is in the house and everybody has to follow his orders while he bosses.
Why do we need a ranged assassin when Illidan can engage you from halfway across the map? I fail to see the issue.
And already Neptune going in for an aggressive maneuver. He gets immediate support by Tassadar and Illidan as well, and some solid damage applied on the Tychus already. By the way, who's not being played by KTY this time around, but I think it was Zuyu on him, so KTY might go for the Genji instead. Let's see. Oh, never mind. I'm wrong. KTY's on the Tychus.
It's all good. We do also see a insight coming in from Alufal.
Ooh, okay.
Going for the cooldown reductions. I mean, you need them extra heals, so that's fair enough.
Okay, keep in mind that it also gives you lower cooldown on your dashes, so just in case you need a little bit more mobility, you need to get out of harm's way more frequently, then of course Insight is going to be good. Nice, Zuyu. That's actually a Melody C-esque attempt here, and he's going to get it. Well done, Zuyu. Going the sneaky path. Sneaky ninja.
A little bit less deep as well. That one seems like it's a lot easier to get to. So very interesting to see that this has become a thing. Genji doing his best third week after release Li Ming impression to see. So Dan once again putting on a little bit of harassment.
Oh my goodness.
Tychus not using the overpower yet. Zuyu go for another one, but he missed the angle here a little bit. And as such takes a couple keep shots. Sorry, 4 shots.
Beautiful teamwork at the top lane, though. They forced 2 early healing fountains. That itself is already a big victory, because if you have the upper hand in terms of cooldowns on your healing fountains, you're going to be able to out-sustain your opponents more often than not, because you can always fall back, heal up, get some more juice on the mana count as well, while your opponents have to go the long way, all the way back to base. And Alufal, this is not the traditional map where we're used to seeing Insight on. Maybe because...
Maybe Battlefields?
Yeah, Battlefield is definitely more frequent because you have more time to actually punch something, like the Immortal in the middle of the map, Mercenaries, and of course when the Immortal is pushing towards you. However, here it's going to take a little bit longer, I feel, because he started the Mercenary camp, which is nice already, but we're going to have to pay special attention to how fast Insight is going to stack up.
We shall keep an eye on it. We have to remember that one of the main bodies that's going to be in the fight does have evasion, so it's actually going to be dodging some of those auto attacks. Luful needs the protection, dashes to Zuyu. Zuyu positioning himself, giving him a good escape route, and even so using the blocking Earth ally as an escape route too. So CE currently split in half. We can see Luful even taking the long way around. Zuyu does not need to as he is Genji, so you can see him leap massive distances in a single bound.
And of course, the Earth Ally is such a valuable talent option here against Illidan, who's basically their only and main damage source with basic attacks. So denying him 50% of his overall damage output is huge. So that talent is definitely going to be something that KT needs to be on the lookout for. Now, for the first moment, though, KTY is successfully channeling the tribute, and another skirmish is about to break out.
Turn it round, try to lock down Illidan. They don't find Illidan. They find Tyrael, though. They do actually find Illidan, but he barely escapes. And it will be Rhaegar who is killed off here. Paradise has dropped low facts to the towers, but not enough to finish him off. But that was exactly what CE needed to do. The kill wasn't even necessary, but they needed to make sure that they took the tribute, or at least gave up on it as quick as possible, because this is where Abathur compositions gain the most value in delaying a tribute fight, the very first tribute fight, as long as possible, to give the team an XP advantage. Not only did CE do it quickly, they also won the tribute and got a kill. So they came out incredibly well there.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And speaking of Abathur, he's been doing an okay job body soaking and symbiote soaking at the same time, because as you can see, the overall XP counter is not really that much of a difference. However, this tribute location is extremely good for CE. It's close to their base, close to the mercenary camp that they just finished, and it's extremely hard for KT to initiate into that horseshoe with all those rocks and boulders blocking the way. KTY, though, careful. You don't want to be the frontliner here, my man. Oh, Zuyu and C-Inc are having a standoff. Oh!
Symbiote, yeah, get out! C-Inc outplays, but in the meantime, they're getting even more. Neptune going deep, already killing off Tigers, getting a Nubarak and a Luful, with Paradise the only surviving member, and KT shredding that fight.
KT absolutely coming and swinging here. Not only did C-Inc get the play of the game here, denying the Genji kill, but also it bought enough time for KT to turn on the heat. Because guess what? Abathur can join them in the blink of an eye with a good symbiote, whereas Genji will have to think twice about his sins and crimes, because that was not good.
Karazim already has 99 stacks out of 100. Are you serious? Well done, Karazim. Doing a great job of stacking process there. Start having to burn dimensional shift to make sure he doesn't get killed off here.
And whoa, okay, we actually see.
What is that?
That is actually the increased duration. So we're gonna have
cooldown reduction. Neat.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have more Flying Fists available, and that of course means with the fully stacked Insight that Karazim will have a quicker cooldown on all of his basic abilities. So really, really cool. He can also go for the Fist cooldown reduction in the first place later on. So I'm actually going to have to quickly look up the names here.
This is the reduced cooldown of Deadly Reach by 0.75 seconds.
Okay, it was the cooldown reduction first and then the duration. Okay,
yes, Fist of Fury is 13, so it's Blazing Fist and then Fist of Fury.
I mean, it's normally not the go-to choice, which is why I'm slightly out of touch here with the talent names and the way they work. But yeah, you're right. It's Blazing Fists, and it's kind of cool. Like, Karazim is probably going to go for the healing talent, maybe the Echo of Heaven later on at 16 to have that double healing, but we really don't know. He could also go for Cleansing Touch, he could go for a variety of talents. It all comes down to what Luful prioritizes more.
Wave 100 Fists, even more cooldown reduction. It's a Bloodlust comp. Yay.
What is
Double
going on?
I like it. Well, they have Archon. They basically have everything they need for exactly this kind of comp. So it is just all in on it. Last attempt by KT, being slightly harassed. Luful dashing to Arthur's, but it's Arthur's who is targeted down. Not the ideal target, and as such, Illidan getting a bit slower. Rhaegar catching up to his team. Cocoon will delay for the moment. There we go, popped out.
Luful also went for the palm, very important. So we have that panic button just in case Illidan gets too dangerous of a threat. Now we see the copy coming out here on Rhaegar indeed, so they would have had double healing support. But yeah, Bloodlust, is that something to cross out of your list right now, Tetra? We're getting massive jackpot value.
Maybe. It might be. I will check in a bit, as right now The Rhaegar is expired, so we're seeing CE moving back in, looking for an opportunity. We're seeing Tassadar, nice Duke, able to back up and escape. No sober transference yet, so CE able to take a little bit more control and actually dive in, grouped up for team fights a bit more. Neptune just walks past, like, hey, how you doing? His team is on the way for the protection, dashes backwards. There's the bloodlust and the sanctification. They're moving in, Huns on Tigers. He is destroyed here. Paradise is harmed. He will survive a little bit longer, but not so much for Alooful. And they are getting shredded right now. The all-in, the cocoon having to be dropped just to make sure that everyone actually gets out alive.
Beautiful, beautiful execution on the side of KT. Oh, Abthor doing the dirty work himself. The slug is coming in strong here, and that secures the first curse of the day here for KT, and they're coming out swinging quite literally here. The bloodlust, the sanctification, the hunt, the copy, everything just worked like a charm, and CE are starting to lose the grip over this game.
They really are. They're trying to turn it back around, though, with this fight. Dragonblade is used. Doesn't matter. He gets exploded. Alooful gonna fall happening? As well. This is a disaster for CE. They're getting faced.
And out of all the teams in the league, it had to be CE who knows how to play against that, because that aggressive Illidan style is a trademark playstyle for them as well. Beautiful 4-man stun here by Wind. But still, KT is going at it. They tried to take out the first keep of the day. It might be a little bit too early, though, for that. But Hunt is going back in, and KTY in trouble.
He is in trouble. Illidan's just ignoring it, waiting out the palm. He just let him go, doesn't take the risk. And down goes someone. That was Tassadar. As Zuyu finally getting that Genji backline value, taking down another with the Rhaegar. Wants Butcher too. Can he get to him? Yes, he can. In the meantime, though, sneaky Illidan getting more kills. Zuyu finally picks up that kill, gets his team closer to that level 13.
Oh my god.
But level 16 already available.
Oh, the dramatic freeze? Okay.
Zuyu. And Zuyu able to dash away.
Okay. You know what? Worth it. Losing 4 team members, getting permanent damage in the lane, in the middle lane instead, totally worth it. Still being 2 levels ahead, fantastic. Abthor is playing out of his mind, securing so much soaking, so much pressuring as well, that KT is absolutely dominant. I would have never thought, when looking at the lineup here, looking at the drafts, that CE would get bodied the way they're getting bodied right now. Because, once again, they are used to playing with and against Illidan. Last season, it was their trademark, and they have Arthas, they have a Nubrek, and Tychus. Why is it not working for them? I don't understand.
Well, Illidan's just getting freedom. He's not getting killed off. They can, like, delay him, but the attack speed of Arthas is just being counteracted here by Sanctification or Bloodlust every time.
Yeah. That is so smart.
This is crazy. This is, like I said at the start, this is either you're going to win really, really hard or get bodied. And they are going for the win really hard style.
That's actually a really good point. The Sanctification, of course, dispelling all sorts of crowd control. That includes movement impairment and, of course, attack speed slows. Then, as you said, the Bloodlust, well, it just adds all the lost attack speed from Arthas by simply, you know, empowering and also adding more lifesteal, so Illidan is going to be even harder to kill. And if this exotic, aggressive playstyle works against CE, I think it could work against any team in the league. KT looking so strong, completely surprising their opponents with a hyper-aggressive playstyle that is just so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, but they've now shown that they are able to pull off this kind of style, so teams may be a little bit more aware of it. KT starting their boss. We can see CE are on the way, though. This could be a boss fight. The Tribute spawning actually in time to reveal the location here, so this is a bit less than ideal. CE getting revealed by this, so the rotation is a little bit less stealthy as it
popped. Holy ground too early.
Odin is popped, trying to get into the backline. Rhaegar gets... No, he's not in the Sanctification! The Holy Ground, though, does confirm the boss. CE tried to shred Illidan, but he's getting no damage on him at all, as KTY got rooted, but he's finally able to turn it around. They kill off Tass and Rhaegar. Illidan is running out of protection. They finally finish him off.
What a brutal bloodbath that was. CE absolutely annihilating the ranks of KT. However, the boss was secured thanks to another great holy ground by Neptune here. Excuse me, it was Butcher. But look at the annihilation here. Genji slicing and dicing. Great focus on the Tassadar as well. If you delete all of the support that Illidan can pull from, then Illidan himself is not going to be any threat any longer. Now, They need to defend this keep. The boss is probably not strong enough after 13 minutes to take it down single-handedly. But look at the XP, Tetcher. So many kills in favor of CE. They're back in the game.
And this was the catch-up that they needed. But like you said, if you kill off Illidan's support, he becomes so much easier to deal with. And that's exactly what happened. The Sanctification went down, but Rhaegar wasn't in it. They tried to spread out, and that was their downfall. Rhaegar getting killed off first, Tassadar getting chased down by the Odin, then Zuyu being finished off from long range. And then, of course, Tyrael was basically left on his own after killing off the boss, and that's all they needed. Abathur and Illidan cannot 1v5 on their own. So beautiful play by CE, slight misplay by KT. This comp seems to really only work when you are on, or not only work, but so far they have been a bit more successful with this comp when they have been on the aggression as opposed to in a defensive position.
Exactly. The moment you get caught off guard, the moment you're the ones getting pushed into a corner, it doesn't really come to fruition here as much. But we see the Echo of Heaven on the side of Alufal. That alone is going to add so much additional healing to Kharazim as well. Combine that with the longer duration of his Flying Fists and, of course, the cooldown reduction. He is going to be a healing machine, a heal bot. However... Oh, that was a missed palm.
Zuyu was able to dash away. Cocoon is popped, but as such, with that use, they only used Ultimate Evolution in the earlier part of the fight. But because of Zuyu getting dropped so low, CE have to back up, and KT able to grab themselves another tribute.
So what happened there is Alufal actually wanted to drop the palm on the Genji. However, Genji at the very same moment used his Swift Strike. He disappeared basically, and since the mouse cursor was so close to Genji's former location and Alufal was right next to him, he triggered it on himself. So it might have looked a little bit goofy, but it was basically just a question of milliseconds, and those, you know, those anti-synergy moments, they just happened. Thankfully for CE, nothing major happened out of it. So it shouldn't really happen anymore, though. That could really backfire.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen. It did in this case, but overall should be fine in the future. For now, Bruiser Camp taken. You can see CE playing a little bit further back. They don't have Odin, Palm only just coming up. They don't want to take a fight and risk getting hunted down when they haven't got that Palm available. So they're sticking together as 4. Genji is the only one solo because he has the best escape out of the group.
Look at the keeps though, Tetcher. Both top and bottom are already severely damaged. It doesn't really take a whole lot for KT to destroy those keeps, especially with Illidan in the ranks, who's so good at taking down structures all by himself. So CE, they can't afford to basically let mercenaries go through, let siege giants or bosses even go through, because with the next wave, with the next boss, they're going to lose even more keeps. Now Paradise, he's hidden in the corner. He's trying to come out, but okay, what is he trying to do? He's just waiting.
He's waiting for someone to go in a little bit deeper.
They found him.
The storm does. Very nice here. Genji coming from over the wall, trying to burst down.
Interesting. Yeah, the Tyrael copy, of course, is a lot more durable than Illidan, so it can actually buy more time defending here, because the next tribute could be the curse point for CE. And as much as KT is ahead in terms of structures, they don't want to suffer from a curse, because that could all backfire. Look at that. The core shield has been lowered already. CE's base in threat.
It is cleared though. Wind dropping a little bit low. Odin is popped. They're moving in. Sanctification and Bloodlust coming in. They're diving into the backline, trying to kill off the Kharazim firstly. But it's a Nubarak who is actually the one being focused now because there's no protection for him. Palm being dropped onto him, keeping him alive for the moment. Nice tunnel for freedom using the shield. Illidan's gonna hunt him though, and as such, a Noob will die. Alufal keeps alive though. Needs someone to dash to make a substance. It doesn't get blown up, but he gets blown up anyway. Didn't have the cooldown for it. Now it is Illidan and Abathur versus Free. They focus him down. The attack speed slow from Arthur's is enough. And Illidan diving too deep for a Nubarak to get the value there.
Alufal here with the noble sacrifice, giving his life to secure the kill on Illidan here. But here we see the beautiful initiation. The Sanctification, as you said, super early popped here, then the Bloodlust. But look at Genji. Zuyu is untouched because they focus everything they've got on Wind, who could have been saved by the Divine Palm and his shields as well. Alufal, though, gives his life for the good cause here. Tassadar even going back. Fury, he should have run. He should have survived here. And Neptune, there's no way he can win in a 3 versus 1 situation with Arthas around. So a really, really solid fight, and the curse for CE, and they also managed to get that top boss. Now, they need to secure themselves another boss, in my opinion. They can't let that slip through for whatever reason, because one more boss and it is lethal. It is actually a core option for KT. So them going for the double boss play and applying a little bit of pressure elsewhere is actually just fine. They need to get every inch, every advantage they can possibly find. They just need to be patient,
really need to just keep the pressure on. They need to keep KT in their base, because someone in the chat just literally said it well. If KT can just sneak a double Illidan back to the core, then that's enough to kill the core. So, and if the CE
they're going in.
Stopped, they're not going to get it. They're trying to kill off the...
Oh my...
Huge! Dragon Blade is used on one hero, but that's enough. That means they can guarantee this keep, and this turns it into a 5v4 for the core right now, basically.
And we have the big red button for Odin as well. That's a long duration on that Odin. Of course, we have the nukes here providing additional damage, and this is everything on the line for KT.
The cocoon is dropped into the clone, killing that off, revealing the extra Rhaegar so they can get the healing onto the actual Illidan, who's getting a lot of value here, focusing down the Odin. But it's already Rhaegar, and Tassadar dropped. It's once again just down to Illidan and Abathur. Can they do it? They can't even finish off Wind, and that is it. That is GG. And the perfect focusing down of the supporting heroes by CE is enough to take them in this first game in the series.
Ladies and gentlemen, comeback time for CE. They challenged everything, Illidan and his compadrons, and in the end, it proved to be enough. But look at the faces. Super focused, super collected, and super calm. This was not the smooth ride that CE might have expected at the beginning of this series. And I want to highlight the power of cooldown reduction Kharazim in that last team fight. They permanently grouped up around him. So the Echo of Heaven, the double heal from Breath of Heaven, had so much value against all the AoE damage from the Tassadar Archon, the Spike Burst from Abathur. Illidan, of course, also deals a little bit of AoE damage with the dashes. So, man, Alufal, I gotta give credit to him. I think with a damage build, they would have not survived.